Official partner of the 60th Grammy Awards.
95.9 KCK.
Good morning to you, East Texas. I'm John, and I got the guys from Caldwell Banker, Brett and Shai. How are you guys doing this morning?
A little cold, but we're going to make it there, John.
Oh, it ain't even cold outside.
Yeah, I think I'll warm up a bit. You inspire me with your love for the cold weather.
Oh, man. All right, so what do you guys got going on today?
Well, we want to talk today about one thing we're experiencing in our area and, well, all over the country is a low inventory in housing right now. And if you're looking at getting your house on the market, right now is the perfect time because the interest rates are still low and so is your competition. Mm-hmm. There's not as much out there to compete with, which makes your house more prominent.
Yeah, if you've got that pre-existing house that you're wanting to put on the market, right now is what we call a seller's market because there's low inventory. That makes your house, whatever that house might be, that much more appealing. So it becomes more valuable. Sometimes that translates into more money in your pocket at closing. Sometimes, even though the money may not go up necessarily, I'm not guaranteeing myself that I'm going to, double my housing price by any means. But what it can do is it can increase but it can speed up the amount of time that it takes to sell a house. So, rather than it being 6 months to sell a house, I might be able to get my house sold in 3 months or 4 months or 2 months, just depending on what type of property that I have to offer to the market.
Yeah, we've also seen some bidding wars happening even around our lake this year. Multiple offers coming in on homes because there's just not the inventory out there.
Yeah, this last year, especially in Dallas, bidding wars were a big deal. There'd be houses where you'd have sometimes 10, 15, 20 simultaneous contracts on a house, or at least offers at that point. You only have really one, maybe two contracts at a house in that stage officially, but you'd have 10, 15, 20 offers at one time, which then allows you, to get a little bit more money. Sometimes that's still limited, though, whenever you're dealing with financing based on the buyer's appraisals, but you can maximize what the buyers are willing to pay on that. And we even started seeing a bit of that here around our area. Not on every house by any means, but we started seeing a little bit of it here.
That's correct. And one thing to consider, though, with it being such a low inventory, a lot of our buyers and even some sellers looking for investment-type properties are looking at the option of a new build home.
Yeah, we've been seeing new builds around the area, multiple categories. One just for primary housing, either just because something that somebody's looking for is not on the market. What is available, there's nothing on the market that suits their needs, or they just can't make this deal work with the existing properties that are on the market. So for that primary housing, they're starting to build. Also with the secondary housing, even whenever we go out here to the waterfront, we're starting to see new waterfront homes going up. Some of those are from purchases of old homes for a specific lot in which the house is raised to the ground and a new house is built on that lot. Some of it, lots that have not previously been built on, are starting to have new builds built on them. And then in our rental inventory has been very low this year, so people have really been seeking something that they can get into on a rental lease basis. So your investors have been having to resort to building new rental properties to put somebody into.
Yeah, so this has really made some of that acreage out there very desirable. We've seen lots of lots, both on water and off water, going.
Yeah, acreage has been selling quite good the last year, and even in the category of where you'd have larger acreage tracts being split up into smaller just lots and being put into new subdivisions. You go out here north of Maybank and you see what was just open land now subdivided into new housing subdivisions there.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'd like you to speak about this morning is a lot of people are getting more familiar, especially with our interest rates being so low. Mm-hmm. People are finding out all the different financing options that are available to them, but may not realize the difference in some of these financing options that are available for new build homes.
Yeah, new build, it's kind of the same animal, but a little bit different. Because even though with the new build, you can still qualify for the FHA and VA, get these great rates locked in. you have an added element to financing on a new build, and that's what we call interim financing. That is, during the course of the building of the home, from the time they stir up the first bit of dirt until the last light bulb is put in its socket, it's under what we call an interim financing package typically. And that is because it's a short term, the house isn't completed, the lender is at a higher risk, so they're going to charge a bit higher interest rate while that construction process is going on. And then once it's completed and the buyer takes possession, then it'll be refinanced into your typical financing, whether FHA, VA, conventional lending.
Is this something, this interim financing, is that something that only the buyer can acquire?
No, there's two typical routes with this. One is the buyer takes on the interim financing, and the other is that the builder takes on the interim financing. And that goes into the two primary types of new builds, whether you're buying a spec home or whether you're buying a complete custom build. The more custom you go in a build, more likely you as the buyer will cover the interim financing because there's going to be a lot more, very specific details that you choose about the building and about the aesthetic of that property, and so the builder wants to put that risk on you. But if you're talking about a spec home that either the builder is in the process of building, or you go through your realtor and they're set up with builders, and you're having a spec home built, something that the builder's already built before. They already have the plans, they know the materials, everything. You're just having a copy made of that. There are times where sometimes the builder will pick up that interim financing because they know as the builder, they have their lending avenues set up. They can go ahead and get it set up real quick. They just go into the bank, they talk to their banker, and they get moving. And so that way you could be working on your financing on your end while they're going ahead and getting this house built as quick as possible for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about the other parts of the process? Usually when we're out shopping for clients to purchase a home, once they write their offer, there's certain things that we have to look to do before it goes in the title, such as inspections, getting appraisals, and things like that.
Yeah, with a new build, you're still going to want your inspections on it, and you're still going to have an appraisal, especially if you're dealing with lending involved. Your lender's going to want an appraisal to know what the current market is showing on that house. But one thing with a new build is you have a lot more peace of mind with the condition of the house. For instance, if you're having your house built inside the city limits of Maybank, for instance, let's take that as an example. During the course of that building process, the city inspector is going to be there at multiple times inspecting the different stages, the foundation, the framing, the electrical, the plumbing. All these aspects, they're going to be inspecting them. Now, they're not working for you as a buyer, and they're not working for the builder as the builder. They're just working for the city. They're a code inspector making sure things are up to the city standards and codes. But that gives you a lot more peace of mind when that house is being built, that the builder is not going to shortchange anything, or even if it's not malicious, just you have that extra set of eyes that helps that builder out in getting this house to completion. So, so whenever it comes to the end, I still encourage, you get an independent home inspector that is working for you. Their eyes are for you to look over this house before you take possession of it. But since it's a new construction, you don't have to worry about hidden things coming up right before closing that you have to deal with.
That's a good thing I like as well. And some of those things, we can't always have everything go perfectly. Some of the parts and things may come in that have defects from time to time. But one good thing that I enjoy with the new builds is they typically come with a warranty. Now, I'd always check personally with your contractor to see what's covered under these warranties, but these are even better than some of your standard warranty packages that you could pick up on a previously built home.
Yeah, on a previously built home, there's a lot of great warranty options for what there is there. But as with any warranty, it's a form of insurance. And typically with that, a seller will give a credit to a buyer, and a buyer will choose the warranty of their choice with that credit. And you can go all different types of levels depending on how much or how little you want to spend on what they will warranty. So some things, depending on what you spend, may or may not be covered. But with a new build, you're going to have the added advantage of there's going to be a warranty from the builder on both workmanship and materials for a time period from the time you take possession of that property.
Okay, that's great. And so if people are having a problem finding that home that meets all of their needs, you're saying they can shop for the perfect location with a new build to get that dream home built in the perfect spot. Yeah,
and with that, there's two options with that. I mean, you can, with an existing home, you find the home you want, but it's a lot of times close to where you're wanting to be, within the subdivision, whatever, but it's already on that lot. So it's not the easiest thing to just pick up and move a 2,000 square foot brick home, just move it over 3 lots. But with a new build, you can have a wider choice of lots available and then have that house built on that lot to your need. But with that, there's 2 different types of builds. We mentioned spec builds and custom builds. Real quick, Brett, what's the difference between a spec home and a custom home?
Well, generally a spec home is what a contractor would have usually a variety of plans that he already has in place that he builds from time to time that you're allowed to choose from. It's not just generally one specific home copied over and over. He'll have several different ones, but they're built to the specifications of the contractor. Because he's putting his investment out, these are generally the ones that the builder himself would pick up the interim financing on, because he knows that if something goes wrong with that deal, that he is going to easily be able to resell it because it's going to appeal to a wide audience out there.
Okay, so he's doing a general swath, building to the widest appeal on the market.
Yeah, and these are generally able to be built faster than your custom homes because they already have their set of plans. Everything is already lined out, specifics on the floor covering and the paint and the stone that's going on the home. So
it sounds like this is something that, since it appeals to this wider range, that if I'm in a position where every 3, 5, 7 years I know I'm either moving up in my job, but I'm staying in the same area, but I'm being promoted enough that I want to move up in housing, or my family is increasing in size, so every 3, 5, 7 years I need a bigger place, or just I'm being transferred around the country, I can take on a new build home to where I have that comfort and that peace of mind and less maintenance, but I'm able to turn the thing over in a few years a lot easier.
Right. You're getting a great quality built home at a fair market price that is going to be able to, you as the purchaser, resell the home in the future if need be.
Yeah, it gives you, it's not a guarantee, never a guarantee on anything, but you have that higher probability of turning that home over as you need to, as your life circumstances change. So what does a custom build have to offer?
Custom homes, the sky's the limit.
It is, and you can go full-blown falling waters out there, millions of dollars if you want.
This is a custom home is where you can truly get what you want. And if you're planning on living in an area for 20, 30 years, why not get everything you want?
Yeah.
Because the appreciation level will come along with the home and allow you to turn a profit eventually when you sell later down the road. But it could range from anything between your choice of which kind of brick or stone on the outside, floor coverings that cover the area, to even moving walls, adding that extra bedroom.
So a custom home doesn't necessarily have to be like a Frank Lloyd Wright, modern masterpiece and, 20,000 square foot. It can be a few simple additions to a house that make it better fit my needs and wants and desires on standardized primary housing, correct?
Yes, and check with your contractors. Some of them will have a minimum square footage that they do for their custom homes, but just because it's a custom home doesn't mean you have to have a very large property like you're talking about.
Okay, but also, what are some of the advantages of buying that custom home versus that spec build whenever it comes to these customizations, and where does that change as far as my marketplace and trying to turn that property if I need to change that property over in 3 to 5 years?
Well, the first thing is, like I said, just truly getting what you want. If you're planning on being there for many years, this is the way to go. This is not the way to go if you're planning on moving every 3 to 5 years, because the customizations generally do cost more money, and so they are going to not appeal to as much of the audience base out there, and so would probably slow down your sales process. Could even, in a short-term sale, affect your resale value.
Okay. So it might be something that, if I'm wanting to turn this property over in 5 years, if I've done hyper customization, the latest trends in floor covering and paint colors and light fixtures and roofing and everything like that, every single aspect of this home is built to what I want and my design and my thoughts. It might mean that when that appraiser comes out there, he may not see the same price valuation that the hardware store charged me for those light fixtures back 3 or 5 years ago.
Correct. Yeah, and if these are the things you really want, I always say go for them.
Yeah.
You're planning. This is going to be your home, your solitude for many years to come. But just look for when you're thinking of resale, what would appeal to the most people out there.
Yeah, so it seems like there's two different types of value proposition. One is if I'm needing to regularly change over my housing, there's appealing to a mass amount of people, but also there is a value in, even if I'm, it's not going to be quite as simple to recapture direct money in my pocket later, there's a value in enjoying what I want. Getting what I want, getting what I need, getting what I desire when I want it. There's something enjoyable to that money just doesn't buy.
Right. It is the time to be selfish on the custom home.
Yeah, that's the time to, little bit of narcissism seep in there and take advantage. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's your home. All right, what do you got as far as properties today? You got a few properties that could benefit towards this process,
Yeah, since
right?
we're speaking of custom home builds here today, we've got is a few lots and some acreage plots that few varied places around the lake to give you a good building site. And our first one's over here at Maple Valley Lane in Gun Barrel City. This is in the Tamarack subdivision. It's located right there at the corner of 198 and 334. So you're real close into the Walmart and the hospital and the shopping and the dining and everything. You've got 2 lots here on almost 3/4 of an acre, very level lots with good mature trees. Utilities are already on the property. And the POA here has a private pavilion, pool, boat ramp, and playground, and you can get all this for only $20,000 today.
That sounds like a great place to put a new build on.
That's very good. And also check with your contractor about rolling these land packages in with your build in your financing.
Okay.
So our second one is over here on Cordoba. That's in the Del Mar. It's got a Maybank mailing address in the Maybank School District, but that's actually located in Payne Springs over here, right by Leisure Land and Shannon Oaks. Real good area over there. And you've got 3 corner lots for only $7,000.
Wow, that is a great price for getting a new build built today.
Yeah, if you're looking to build a home, I don't know that you're going to find much cheaper. Or if you're an investor looking to do some spec home buildings, this may be one to call on today.
Yeah, I think I'd check that out if I was in the new build market today.
And third one, this one's still in the Maybank School District as well, is over, the address is currently 411 Anchor in Gun Barrel. This is located in the Harbor Point subdivision over there. Very good area, but it's actually 5 lots on 4/10 of an acre. It has 2 road entrances from Anchor, but also from Masthead, that you could have 2 entrances to your property. Located right behind the Gun Barrel City Air Park over there, and the old Flying Grape and Bean.
Oh yeah, I love that restaurant over there. Their sandwiches and coffees were fantastic.
Yeah, and this one's going for only $42,000.
$42,000. That's a great buy. So if they want to get a hold of you today about any one of these properties, or even if it's some other property do a new home build on, or just ask more questions, how do they get a hold of you, Brett?
You can always contact me at 903-340-6301, or subscribe to my Facebook channel or my YouTube channel.
Awesome. You got that YouTube channel just started, just not too long ago, up and going, doing some great things with that.
Yeah, and you can go back and watch any of our other videos to find out some more information if you need it.
Wonderful. And if you want to get a hold of me, my name's Shai, 903 340-6159, or give our office a call today at 903-887-7055, and one of our great agents will be there ready to take your questions and help you out. We want to thank you, John. Thank you for having us on.
No problem. It's always fun having you guys out here. Folks, you're listening to 95.9 KCKL, and we will be back shortly with the Trading Post.